Hello everyone, Pallytime here, and welcome back to Pokemon Unite. I hope you guys are doing well today, and thank you for supporting our Pokemon Unite series so far. Remember, if you're enjoying the episodes, one of the best things you can do to support the series is simply hit the thumbs up button before you leave this video. We've been taking a first look at a lot of different characters in this game, and we finally landed on one of the most iconic that there is. Pikachu. And man, if you didn't know this character's name, don't worry, they say it constantly throughout the match. We're gonna do a brief overview of the character and then of course get into a game here pretty quickly. If we take a look at the character's overview, you can see that offense is a 4.5 out of 5. And then everything else is kind of on the low side. I mean, mobility, I don't even know if I would agree with a 2.5 mobility star. There's only certain abilities that actually give you increased mobility. Anyway, I digress. Pikachu is more of a mage than an auto attacker. So we're thinking more about bursting targets down within a very short window rather than doing consistent damage to them. Also, Pikachu already has the best skins. I mean, Snorlax is close, but look at this hat. How do you say no? When I first picked up this character, I actually thought he was pretty weak, and I was wrong. I simply wasn't using the right combination of abilities and wasn't going in with the correct mindset. Now, if you want to use different stuff, more power to you. I'm not telling you how to play, just sharing my experiences with you. If we take a look at Pikachu's default skills, we have Electro Ball and Thunder. I think both of these are pretty viable. Electro Ball is the one that I prefer. It allows you to poke down targets from a little bit further back. However, Thunder will give you better DPS, especially for PvE objectives. So if the bees spawn in the middle of your lane, Thunder will be the better tool to take them down. But I prefer Electro Ball for team fighting personally. In the other set of abilities, we have Volt Tackle and Thunderbolt. Now, this is where I was going wrong. I was playing a lot of Soccer Bunny and enjoying Volt Tackle a lot because Soccer Bunny, Cinderace, excuse me. I know not everyone knows my funny little nicknames. Cinderace has a very aggressive play style where they could be dashing in and doing all kinds of damage. So I thought, you know, that sounded fun. Let's try Volt Tackle. However, putting Pikachu in harm's way is usually the last thing you want to do. Whereas Thunderbolt is a ranged stun, very similar to what Gardevoir is able to accomplish. And we all saw how I wiped the floor with the team with a ranged stun. Also, his ultimate, oh my goodness gracious, starts screaming. It's like the whole screen becomes his focus. Really, really, really fun. If you've never played Pikachu before or seen what he can do inside of Pokemon Unite, let's just say you're about to be in for a treat. The item setup I'm using for this with my held items are the Assault Vest because Pikachu is extremely squishy and I want to try to protect those precious few health points as best as I can. We're going for the Wise Glasses because it just gives you a nice increase to our special attack, which is going to be our primary attribute for Pikachu. And then the Shell Bell, which is going to give us even more special attacks, some cooldown reduction, and allow us to heal whenever we do damage to an enemy. Damage with our spells. I should probably specify that. Damage with our spells. We're not auto attack leeching. That's not our goal at all. I mean, I'm weaving some auto attacks in, but it's all about the spell focus. Not only did the team pick their characters quickly, they also assigned their lanes, and we have a tank and a support. This could be the best game of our lives. But Lucario doesn't have a held item. So does that mean that this is Lucario's first game? Don't you start with a potion? How do you unselect a held item, or a battle item, I guess, not a held item? So the friendly team today, Pikachu, Snorlax, Blissey, Ninetales, and Lucario. The enemy team, Gengar, Pikachu, Wigglytuff, Venusaur, and Snorlax. Gengar in particular is going to be pretty difficult for us to deal with. Venusaur can burst us down as well. And of course, Pikachu versus Pikachu, well, there's not a lot of health to go around. One of us is going to kill the other one extremely quickly. 10 minutes on the clock, and we are heading down to the bottom lane. Let's see how this game goes. Normally, if our lanes don't make any sense, I'll head into the jungle and start working on that. Looks like Lucario is heading into the jungle, though. At level 1, we are going to take Thunder Shock. This is just a basically point and click ability. It does have a frontal cone, but it just targets someone in the frontal cone and then deals damage. Once we hit level 3, I think we get a really important ability for Pikachu. This is Electro Web. And I wouldn't say Pikachu has the best early game. Kind of similar again to Gardevoir, who gains a lot of strength as the match progresses. However, Electro Web is so good at protecting your character, way more so than what Ralts has in their kit. Ralts just has a small teleport. You know what else every other character has? A small teleport, because everyone just uses the eject button. I'm going to get a very quick cast in here as the enemy team is not paying any attention to me, and we're also going to lock in our first powered up ability with Electro Ball. I could have potentially peeled for her there. I think that was a little bit of a misplay on my part. We are going to flash away, grab ourselves a little bit of food, grab some more, lock down the enemy team's Wigglytuff, and as she tries to retreat back to safety, well, let's just say we're not going to allow that to happen. She is taken down as our character falls asleep. Blissey is rejoining us, and she should be okay. She should be okay. The enemy team is pretty tanky down here, so bursting these guys down is not going to be a simple task, but we're doing a pretty good job of getting farm. We have Dreadnought coming up in 1 minute and 15 seconds as well, so I mean, things are looking pretty okay here. We've done a decent job of getting a decent amount of XP too. Maybe it was because Blissey wasn't in lane for a second, but I feel like level 5 for a laner at this stage of the game is pretty all right. Once we hit level 6, we are going to be losing the electric web, so maybe we should use it while we still have it. It's not going to be around forever. Any enemies down at the bottom right? No, it looks like they are missing. I kind of want to just let these guys rotate, you know, in. Maybe I could sneak a turn in behind them. I feel as though if I run in right now, things are simply not going to go well for me. We do manage to root the enemy team's Snorlax. He's probably going to start resting here soon. The enemy team's Wigglytuff is taken down by Lucario. We're going to turn in a quick 13. Blissey behind us turning in 18 as well. And I'm going to start to say, gather here. We need to secure this objective. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, I saw a ton of comments about it. The information spread like wildfire across the internet. I'm sure a lot of you know about the final Dreadnought by now, but in case you don't, I'll tell you. In the previous video, we were talking about controlling Dread and trying to get as many applications of his buff throughout a match as you can. I'm going to go ahead and flash back here. I don't feel too good about these guys rotating in on me. And our jungler went AFK, and we're not controlling Dread at all. Gather here. Early dreads are still the most important objective on the map. You want to be securing these as often as possible. They are super duper important. I'm going to try to get back to this healing area. I don't think it's going to work out. Ninetales does share a heal with me, and we are back into the fight. This gives your entire team XP. This gives your entire team shields. And when I say XP, it's like a free level for everyone, including the characters that didn't bother to show up. Gengar just took down Ninetales at the top of the screen. I'm going to be his next target. So let's try to blow him up, which we do. Thunderbolt is a stun in an area. Electro Ball is just damage. So if I can time a stun on top of someone and then follow up with an Electro Ball, that is a lot of burst damage. We also just got our ultimate ability. Let's just go ahead and use it as the enemy team is pushed up pretty far here. Unfortunately, I was immediately put to sleep and all of that damage was completely nullified. We see Gengar trying to attack me on the back line. All I have to do is back up here. Blissey doing a fantastic job of being our team's front line, but unfortunately does get taken down there. I don't feel super good about fighting this close, but the enemy team is caught in my stun and in the Ninetales ultimate as well. We can at least force her back and try to get a turn in. This is going to be 39. That's kind of frustrating. I just need one more. Blissey, turn it in. Oh, you should not have come back. The stun does land on the enemy team's Wigglytuff. Oh, I'm not going to make it out of here. Gengar does manage to chase me down. Wigglytuff still low on health. Is going to be finished off by Lucario. Blissey taking a bunch of damage. Gengar with those crazy resets as well. So I knew Gengar was going to be a problem for me. How we're going to have to adjust to this is when he disappears to do his attack. By the way, stun. Fuck! When he disappears to do his attack on me, if I'm purple, if he has hit me with Hex, then what we need to do is simply use the eject button to get away, which is easier said than done sometimes for sure. But we are going to start having to save our Flash almost exclusively for him. Wait, the team's trying to surrender? Is the top lane not going well? You guys seem like you're doing fine. Gather together here. Maybe Snorlax is just having a bad game up there or something. The next Dreadnought coming up in 7 seconds. We do want to control this. So why don't you want the last Dreadnought? Well, apparently, and this has been tested and proven and shared across the internet at large, Dreadnought gives your team a damage debuff against Zapdos. So if you take the final Dread and then move to Zapdos, it has to be within 90 seconds of receiving the buff. But if you do that, you actually deal significantly less damage to arguably the most important objective, especially of the late game. Zapdos is pretty fucking important. So you never want to take a Dread within 90 seconds of Zapdos. Once again put to sleep as the enemy team stops my ultimate from happening. I haven't run into this situation before where a Wigglytuff was completely countering me. This is certainly eye-opening. Lucario trying to fight a little bit further down the lane. Unfortunately, my stun not able to connect there. I was a little too slow. I wasn't able to really advance on the enemy team there as much as I wanted. Top lane is getting pushed in super hard. This game is actually looking pretty close just based on this. Let's move in with the stun. It is going to... I think the freeze is actually what did a lot there. We're going to be taken down by the enemy team's Pikachu, but Ninetales cannot finish this off. Lucario emerging from the... There you go. Okay. I was about to say, bud, let's not pass that one up there. Let's not pass that one up. It does look like our friendly team is a little bit behind in this game. I'm sitting at level 11 as we're approaching the final 2 minutes of this match. I want to show you guys a good ultimate before the end of this game. We're just going to have to be really mindful of the Wigglytuff's positioning. Another thing we need to be mindful of is that Gengar is going to be hitting like a truck. Looks like our Snorlax in a little bit of trouble over here. That stun does land. We do take down the enemy... Ooh, I'm going to back up from this. We do take down the enemy team's Gengar. The enemy Pikachu advancing on me quickly. I need backup! Imagine what backup looks like. Well, luckily for us, the main damage that would be on Zapdos is Gengar, and he's taken out of this fight. We see Ninetales advancing on the enemy team's Pikachu. She is going to land her ultimate as well, finishing him off. Wigglytuff emerging from the enemy team's jungle, slapping our Ninetales and disrespecting her. We are going to lose her in the progress. My ultimate ready to go again. The enemy team is starting to converge on Zapdos one more time. We see Gengar using his ult, moving down here. Okay. Here's a stun and an electro bolt at the bottom of the screen. We're also going to ult here and start to pop up. Gengar, take it down. Snorlax, take it down. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just moving to turn in. Our Snorlax literally just walked into Zapdos with no health and died. Now, I'm not going to say it was my fault. I did pull it, but he stayed. I'm going to turn in 84 in the bottom lane. That may just be an... Oh, lag. Oh, bad time for lag, too. Oh, shoot. I flashed like a second and a half earlier than that. Zapdos is in play. I don't think this is the best idea with Gengar still at large. Speaking of which, he did just mix the Hex. That's pretty huge. Trying to get... Oh, I'm dead. If he hexed me, I'm just dead. Oh my god, I stole it! I stole it! The stun was successful! 4 seconds left in the match. Is that enough time to turn in? No, it is not. Was the 48 enough for the score? That's going to be 355 to 371 of the enemy team. A super duper close match. Of course, this episode, our first look at characters is only about showing the baseline skills, giving you an idea of what to expect and how to approach the character. And with 149 turn-ins, 10 kills, 6 assists, and MVP for our team, I feel like we did a decent job at that. A lot of people have been saying it down in the comments, I've seen you, that this game feels like it's just stomps and doesn't really have close matches. Well, how's that for a close match for you? If we take a look at damage done in this match, you can see we're topping out at 77,000, highest on our team. Second to only Gengar in this particular match, but we all know how much of a monster he is. Well, actually, maybe you don't. I haven't made a Gengar video, have I? They nerfed him since the original release of the game. He's not as uncontrollable as he was before, and I think people are getting better at dealing with him. For instance, if we had the wall on Snorlax, and I don't know if we did or not, I wasn't really watching this. Oh, he had Yawn and Flail. If he had the wall, literally every time Gengar engages, you just put the wall up, and it stops him from being able to re-engage and get those resets on his combo. However, pretty good game. I want to show you another match here in my history, if I may. This was when I was first learning Pikachu. I thought this game was a fantastic match. I was like, oh, things went perfect. Look at this, 224 points turned in this game. I was feeling really, really good. Looked at my damage, and it was 58k, which was significantly lower than I expected. Then if we take a look at this match, I didn't feel like I did that good. I mean, 62 points turned in, 12 kills, 8 assists. That's okay. Look at the damage. 129,000, 37% of our team's damage done in this match by Pikachu. I don't know what the difference between those two matches were, but it's astonishing the amount of damage that this character can deal. And I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong about Pikachu. I thought he was weak as fuck. Turns out, he's a burst mage in disguise. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, if you did like it, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We're going to be spotlighting another character in the game very soon, and the news just released today. September 1st will be the release of Blastoise. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Take care, guys. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.